Am I, 31F, the a-hole for sending my ex's, 38M, new girlfriend, 22F, who he cheated on me with, a thank you card? So, he decided he needed time to think one day and never returned home. I had to find him to get an explanation as to why he left. He told me he just couldn't do it anymore, that he loved me but not like that. I recently found out he was cheating on me for the past 4 months, so I've sent a thank you card to the new partner thanking her for taking him off me and allowing me time to work on myself. I've also told her I know they were cheating. I'm not sure if she was even aware. Am I the a-hole for ending a family naming tradition by not giving my son my late nephew's name as his middle name even though my sister has said she wants me to? My family have always had this tradition where the first child born after the loss of someone in the family gets the late family member's name as their middle name. My sister and I both have those middle names. Hers is Patricia after a cousin of our mom's and mine is Denise after my dad's aunt. Almost a year ago my sister lost her 2-day-old son, Philip. He was the last family member we lost, and it was a huge, earth-shattering blow for our family. I found out I was pregnant a few months ago. I waited a while to tell anyone, and my sister was the first person we told, privately. When I told her, she said it would be nice to have some positive news to focus on, and she wanted me to continue the tradition our family keeps and give my baby, if a boy, the middle name Philip. She was so happy about the idea. It surprised me a lot. I would have figured she would not be okay with it, but she wanted it. The problem is my husband and I do not want to continue with the tradition. We do not want to give our son the middle name Philip. The name isn't one either of us likes or would ever pick ourselves. We have not announced the gender of our baby yet, but my husband and I know we are expecting a boy. My family were saying how amazing it will be if my baby is a boy and Philip's name can be carried on. I suggested they wait until we announce if it is a boy or girl and the name, before jumping to conclusions. They asked why, and I said we were thinking of not continuing with the tradition. My family, and by that I mean my parents mostly, were really upset. My sister was the worst though. She asked why I wouldn't want to honor Philip and why it was him the tradition was getting broken on. She asked if I saw him as meaning so little, and I said no, of course not. Then she asked if it was his name that we didn't like. She said, I really hope it isn't that. I said, we just didn't feel like the tradition was something we wanted to continue. The decision has brought up a lot of bad feelings, and my sister is especially angry and thinks I'm being insensitive and showing how little I care for my nephew. I feel terrible. She's so angry at me, and my parents are unhappy as well. My husband hates them for putting this pressure on us. He said we should be allowed to name our son whatever we want, and we should not be obligated to use a certain name. I never wanted to be an a-hole, but my family believes I am. So, am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my sister she will be insecure no matter what I wear to her wedding? To preface this, myself, 27F, and my sister, 30F, are both of Indian descent from the United States. My sister is getting married in November, and currently we are in the process of getting the clothes made for the wedding. Indian weddings are usually quite large and extravagant with several events. I, as the bride's sister, will be expected to dress very nicely, so I am having my clothes custom made as well. Yesterday we went to our first fitting for the outfits, and the moment my sister saw my outfits she was upset. I am having 4 different lehengas made, which are like a crop top and a long skirt made for her wedding events. My sister on the other hand is choosing to wear suits, which are like a long tunic with baggy pants on the bottom. My sister, once she saw me in the outfits, told me they were too revealing and would like me to wear something more toned down, as she herself will be in a suit. I'll admit we both look very different and have different body types, so her choice of outfit is a much better fit for her. She got even more upset when I pointed out that several of our cousins will be wearing similar outfits to the wedding. She said she doesn't care what they do, but that I should let her have the spotlight for this one event in her life. Here is where I may be the a-hole. I told her that no matter what I wear she will be insecure, and her insecurities are for her to deal with, not me. Indian moms can be quite blunt, and I won't lie, our entire life my mom has pointed out just how different we look physically. I can see why she would be insecure, but I don't see why I have to cater to her insecurities. My mom agrees with me and told my sister I will be wearing the lehengas as that's what looks best on me. I'm not going to lie, I think Indian suits look frumpy to me, and I want to wear what flatters me. I'd rather not even go if I have to wear a suit. They look better on more matronly women. So, am I the a-hole in this situation? For more context, here is what a lehenga looks like. And here is what the suit my sister wants me to wear looks like.
My wife, 37F, had elective cosmetic surgery and I, 42M, am having a very negative reaction to the results. Am I the a-hole? We have been together over 15 years. A few months ago, she mentioned she was going to get it done, we discussed it, and I was extremely against it. I thought the whole thing was a waste of money, dangerous, and I find the aesthetic unappealing. I shared these feelings and she told me she was doing it anyway, found a doctor she liked and arranged everything. A month or so ago she told me she had scheduled the surgery and that she needed a ride there and back and would be laid up for a few days because the recovery was something like 14 to 20 weeks. I again told her that it was a bad idea, she looked great, I find the results unattractive and that she should really think about what she is doing. She told me her mom would take her if I didn't, it's her body, but I was very adamant that I was against it. Fast forward about 6 weeks, the results are what she expected, and she is happy, the results are what I expected, and I'm mortified, I feel she has mutilated herself. I'm not overreacting, her own family thinks the results are questionable, I have heard them, so this isn't just my opinion. I have always thought my wife was beautiful, I have told her this since day one and have maintained this feeling for as long as we have been together. We haven't slept in the same bed due to the recovery since the surgery and won't more than likely for a while. I have a hard time looking at her, I get a deep sense of loss and sadness. The relationship is coming off the rails, fighting, nasty comments, silent treatment, etc. My wife is mad at me for my reaction, says I'm being ridiculous and unsupportive. I'm responding with, I told you exactly how I would feel, and you did it anyway, what did you expect? She is blaming me for being angry and distant, she is laying everything at my feet because it's her body and I don't control her, all of which are true, but on the flip side, physical attraction is part of a relationship, and yeah, she is the same person, she just doesn't look like the same person. I told her how I felt, and I feel how I feel about, she made the decision ignoring me. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Since so many are asking what was done, it was multiple lipas, skin, waist augmentation, breast augmentation, BBL. She was never obese by any definition, and she did not have drastic weight loss, it is an unrealistic aesthetic. 14 to 20 weeks is full recovery, and she was up and moving about 5 to 6 days after, just has to sleep in specific positions, etc. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife she's deluded if she thinks she needs my boot dryer more than I do? It is getting to be the rainy season where I work, it will rain for the next 4 or 5 months, daily. I was packing up my stuff to take to work and I was packing my boot dryer. My wife said she was hoping I could leave it at home since they need it too. I was interested, so I asked why she needed it. She said that she does lunch supervision once a week and that our son shovels snow. I proceeded to ask if this lunch supervision soaked her boots for 10 hours a day for weeks on end, and that the same question went for my son and his apparently constant snow shoveling. She said no, and that I was making her feel stupid and useless by pointing out that I actually need the boot dryer to be comfortable at my job. I feel bad if I actually made her feel this way, but I think an adult should be able to understand that stuff without being told. Am I the a-hole for being furious my wife dated my brother before we were married and never mentioned it? Me, 50M, and my wife, 50F, have been married 20 plus years. My brothers, 45M, wife, 45F, my sister-in-law, recently disclosed at a family dinner that my brother had dates with my wife several weeks before we started dating. I never knew, they kept it a secret all these years. I realize it is ancient history, but we have had our marriage issues like every couple over the years. I feel pain, violated, and almost irrationally angry that this secret was common knowledge in my family, but I was clueless. I don't know how physical it was, but the implication by my sister-in-law was they were intimate. My wife and I already sleep apart, I am thinking of ending it with her over this. I was a fool for half my life to everyone close to me, I feel like they are all a-holes. From my parents, who said they thought I knew, to my siblings who all knew, I want no contact, at least for a while. Edit. I talked on the phone to my brother, they were intimate and smashed regularly, more than a few times. It was more friends with benefits, I guess both were busy horned up young professionals, who wasn't in their 20s. That part is really not my business, it was before us. It just feels weird my brother banged my wife, he raw dogged her even. She was pregnant very shortly after we started dating, so we got married pretty quick, it was exciting. Recently he told his wife, my sister-in-law, and she was upset about it, so she outed them to me and the family. He apologized to me, said he wished he had told me. My bro and his wife have their own problems, my wife won't pick up the phone. I already had trust issues from things she has done in our relationship in her mid-40s. She said she missed out on sowing her oats, from having our kids, being a stay-at-home mom, so she got a Tata job, hit the gym and let her freak flag fly. It was a phase and she got over it. We worked through it with counseling. I'm not a cuck for those of you that will say that. I'm not okay with it, but I think of it like an illness, so I supported her through it, but trust is an issue. A little tiny tickle in the back of my brain saying, what if? I don't want to do that dance again, it was awful for us both, I am a workaholic, I acknowledge prioritizing my job over her, but she likes the upper middle class status. We both have our failings. I can't get into all our therapy issues in one post. I will update again after I talk to her. I'm taking a sick day from the rest of work today.